The Taoiseach began his contribution by saying he's keen to hear feedback from the community. Let me tell you about some of the feedback from the parents in Gael School Closhtamura as they've experienced it over the last 24 hours. At 2:30 today, can you imagine what those parents of those children have experienced over the weekend since Thursday? I want to ask you what your expectation would be if that was your school, where our kids would be. At 2:30 today, those parents collected their children from that school. What would you say they experienced? There wasn't one Garda present on Parnell Street today as they collected those kids from that school. More to the point, my phone started to blow up around 2:45 because what they did see was a person lying on the steps at the ground where that vicious assault on those 3 children on Leanne took place last week. There was a person intoxicated and had urinated upon himself, and there wasn't a Garda present. That was 2:30 p.m. today, despite the fact that that school principal had been promised there would be a consistent Garda presence on that street over the course of the next week and months. What sort of callous disregard from the state is that towards those children who have experienced the most incredible trauma that none of us could even comprehend that that was what they experienced today? They deserve an apology. It is unforgivable. Yesterday, those parents took the brave decision, the right decision, to bring their children back to school. As they did so, they assembled in a nearby hotel to find source information from the state. Firstly, as how their children would be protected going into the near future. They expected to see the police there, council officials, potentially ministers, as would be the normal situation of attack like that occurred elsewhere. There was 3 representatives of the NEPs present and dozens of parents who had all sorts of understandable questions that simply weren't answered. The feedback I'm hearing from parents in the Gael School Closhtamura, as of today, and some of them are present in the chamber just now, is that they feel disregarded. The experience today is simply unacceptable. Unacceptable in any sense that there wouldn't be a guard present to provide reassurance outside that school. An apology should be forthcoming. Minister, in your own contribution, and I'll move on quickly because I don't have a lot of time. You said that An Garda Síochána maintained a high visibility policing plan throughout the weekend, including deployment of public order units. Thankfully, your words, and due to diligent work of Gardaí, no further scenes of chaos unfolded. Minister, on Sunday evening, a man was hacked to bits on Talbot Street. On Talbot Street, on Sunday evening, Minister, it was literally just across the road from where you had your much vaunted publicity stunt with the Commissioner back in during the summer to prove that those streets are safe. Do you know where that man lay as he was hacked? He was hacked with a machete on Sunday. He lay outside the office of that community police and safety partnership that you talked about. What we have is a lawlessness and a lack of control in the city, and it's my constituents, it's the city of the north and the city are finding themselves at the coalface of this. So as to whether I have confidence in you, as to whether I have confidence in the Minister is irrelevant. My constituents, they're hurting. They've been crying out for support from the state for the best part of 2 years, and they have effectively been ignored. You asked for non-point scoring, collaboration at these times. The centre must hold, you say. For the last 2 years, I've come into this chamber and I've asked for that very same approach, and we've been ignored. It was this time last year, we actually had, after a year of calling for it, statements on safety in the city of Dublin. We made safety and no action followed. So we make no apology for making the calls we have. Protect our city. That's all we're asking. Do the job. More Gardaí on the street. It's not more complex than that. Today, that school deserves an apology for what happened today.
If I could at the outset, Cahir, address a point that was raised by Deputy Gannon in relation to Gael School Closhtamura, because at the outset, first and foremost, they are my and I think all of our absolutely priority at the moment, making sure that the children, their parents, and the staff and the wider community are supported in every way possible. I want to reassure Deputy Gannon, but also any families and those in the school, that Garda members are present, that liaison officers are engaged with the school and with the creche. And in relation to any incident today, there was communication and contact with the Garda immediately, and a response happened immediately. But it's really important that for those school children that there is normality, and having a Garda member present and stationed directly outside the school at all times is not a way that we return to normal. So to reassure people that there is a Garda presence on the ground and that that will be maintained.